Here we go, we are back and our polyurethane foam has gone off, so time to demould. Yes, reuse that cup, thank you very much. Gone off nicely. So you may have seen here, I had to use a hefty weight here. Now this is a 5 kilogram weight I dropped on top to squash both of the two halves of the mould together. And even then, I got spill out. Look at that. Foam still oozed out. And I did have a little pressure release hole on one end, but it didn't really do a huge amount. I'm really looking forward to revealing this one though. So here goes. So being as careful as I can because of the ear holes of the hat. Now we did make an allowance, that did break off nicely, cool. Will this one do the same? Yes! It worked! It worked! Bit of flashing, but we can sort that out in a bit. It's not a problem. That should trim off nicely. Oh no, did I? Oh yeah, that's coming away nice. Just prising or easing the hat. Now I can't remember if I actually chopped up this side. Oh I did, yeah, look. Yes, look. It's worked. So if I try and open that a little bit. Be quite forceful here. So that actually moulded quite well. Very pleased with that. And here's the hat. You can't really see it there, but here's the hat. A little bit of flash. That should just tear off there. All right, let's get some scissors. Nice big scissors. So just cleaning it up ever so carefully. Overall though, it's formed really well. We did get a join in the middle, but I guess that's to be expected. So there's the hat. Let's do a fit check. Oh, it fits nice. That fits nice. It fit. It fits. It fits! That is unbelievable. So now I'll do a little bit more trimming and I'll get it ready for paint. High speed montage. So there we go, finished, nice and trimmed. So I'll do a quick tidy up, a quick clean up of my bench. I'll get the paints out and then we'll start painting. What I'm going to do is, using some 3D paint, I'm going to mix up some diluted green. So I'm going to put a bit of green with a bit of white, get a light green, use that as my base coat. Green. Blob. Gently mix it, let's just mix it together really. Now I didn't consider making a mess. I just skewered the hat first. And now I've got paint all over my fingers. Ah well. So any bits that are quite deep, I'm just kind of glossing straight over. Now the back here is quite porous. So there's quite a few bubbly holes. So I'm just gonna fill them over. Trying to make it as neat as possible. Dropped it. So I'm just being very liberal with the inside. I'm just gonna coat the whole of the inside. There's the kind of first pass at the hat. So I'm just going to set that aside, pop it there. I'm just going to leave it there to dry while I just focus on the rough bits of the actual goblin itself, which is mainly the tummy and the feet. I think really what this has taught me is that my moulding process needs to be a bit cleaner because I'm trying to hide the impurities with 3D fabric paint, which isn't necessarily the best way of doing it, especially if I can cast it smoother. Once again, I did forget a method of holding this, so let's do that now. Yowza. Poor little guy. I'm not quite sure how this 3D paint will actually dry. And I do realise I'm brushing it on, so I'm actually thinning it out, but I'm hoping it'll form a skin and then fill in some of the gaps from the casting process. Not quite the colour I was after. It looks a bit different when it's on, when you're actually painting it on the green background. There are a few ways you can apply this. You can paint it on or you can kind of spread it on. So this is my first attempt with, so look how porous that head is. Let's see what we can do. So I'm going to try and push the paint into the head. Like that. Now the head's covered quite well, but the tummy is quite a big space to cover, so I'm just going to try a thick covering and just see what happens. So there we go on the tummy. Well, the face isn't very good, so let's try the face next. Blob, blob, blob. I have got a slight blob on the eye. Doesn't really matter too much because I can just pick it off at the end. So there's his face. It's still kind of rough and wrinkly. The toes will be interesting because they're pretty much all missing. So I'm not quite sure how to do that. I'm hoping if I just blob this stuff on, and I'm going to need a bit more, if I just blob it on, we should be fine. So that actually worked quite well, just going to daub in the actual nib of the tulip puff paint, not straight onto the feet, just for a thicker coat. Let's try that again, shall we? Oopsie daisy. That actually worked quite well. Same with under the feet. And there we have it. Our first coat of our 3D tulip puff paint. I think that's pretty good. So again, I'm going to leave it in this cold garage to dry. It'll probably take me a day or so, I would think. So I'll wedge him over there, out the way. So he's wedged over there. So now what I want to do is just, So now what I would like to do is just finish off the hat. So again, with the white puff paint, the daubing technique worked quite well. Now that looks amazing. It looks like the cotton wool from a Christmas hat. That looks amazing. Perfect, actually. So you can definitely build with this. Let's just see if we can get rid of the back. Oh, a bubble. That's quite a lot on the back. Now I'm wondering if we can smooth it out. Yes, that's a thing. Interesting. I think the brush, you can't go wrong. Let's utilise some of the extra paint here. There we go, there he is. I think I'm going to stop there. You just need to know when to stop. So I'm going to stop there, let him dry after I've done that bit. Let him dry. I'm not sure how long it takes for this stuff to dry, but we'll just come back tomorrow anyway. Now before I go, I just want to sort out the lips. I don't like the lips because they're really, really broken. So I'm just going to see. Now this will either ruin it or make it amazing. So let's just go. So there we go. He has got some lips again. I'm actually really pleased with this. Even though it's my first go at 3D paint, I think I've sealed it very well, or as best I can. And the lips as well, I've managed to put a bit more detail, so they're a bit more embossed. So slightly more exaggerated. That is it for today's episode. So if you did enjoy what you saw today and you may have learned something, or you could teach me something, please write a comment below. Even better, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.